We've been able to double the revenue on our Shopify store just by setting up Google Ads correctly. So in today's tutorial, I want to take you through the exact step-by-step guide that I used when I set up Shopify and Google Ads so that you can do the same on your store. We've set it up so well that we're now getting a 10x ROAS from our Google Ads. Now this tutorial is designed for not only beginners, but for those that have been running a Shopify store for a while and they're just trying to squeeze that little bit of extra revenue out of your store. My name's Gillen and I've been in e-commerce for over 15 years. I run a number of Shopify stores and I work with e-commerce entrepreneurs just like you to teach them how to start, grow and scale their e-commerce businesses. If you want to work with me, you can. I've got a link down below, but this tutorial is going to give you everything you need to know to growing your Shopify store. Now today's tutorial is going to be broken up into a number of key areas. The first one is we're going to set up a Google Merchant Center account and we're going to link that into your Shopify store. Then we're going to set up a Google Ads account. Then we're going to jump back into Shopify, optimize your product listings, and then we're going to start our first Google Ads account. So if that excites you, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is set up a Google Merchant Center account. So if you head over to Google Merchant Center, in the top right-hand corner, you're going to have something that says sign up for free. Now, if you've already got a Google account set up for your business, we want to use the exact same Google account when creating a Merchant Center account. And it's going to be the exact same Google account that we use for our Google Ads. So log in with that one here. So once you've signed in, it's going to take you through a little bit of a guide on how to get this all set up. So I'm going to go through this quickly with you now so we can get this moving. So yes, we sell products online. Now I'm just going to be using a demo store here today, which is called EcoHut. It's not a real store, but it's one that we can use just to show you how to do it. Okay, let's have a look here. We just want to continue to Merchant Center, write in all your details here. We'll just click get started. Now here it's asking whether or not you want to connect Shopify to your Google Merchant Center. Now because we want to do this really well and we want to blow up our Google Ads, I'm going to show you a way that we connect it not using the Shopify app so that you can really hone in these listings and optimize your Google Ads. So we're just going to click here, set up Merchant Center manually. Now you're going to need to go through and edit all these details here. Now, so that we're not here for hours going through these details, I'm just going to quickly pause this video and enter all these in myself. So if you could do the same, that'd be awesome. Okay, so now I've verified my address, I've verified my phone number, and I've verified my store. So instead of adding them here, this is where we're going to connect to our Shopify store and add the products in there. So let's head over to our Shopify store and I'm going to give you an app that I want you to install. So we're going to click apps. And in apps, we're going to type in Google Feed. Let's click that one, okay? It's going to take us to the Shopify App Store and it's going to bring up a list of feed apps. So the one I want you to install is called Simprosys Google Shopping Feed. This is a super popular app and it's really, really great because it allows us to configure our feed in such detail that allows us to outperform our competitors. I use it in all my stores. It is paid, I think it's about $5 a month, but it is well worth the investment. So let's go and install this one. And it's going to ask you to connect all your Google accounts. So just go through these steps. We're going to click sign in with Google. Now this should be the same Google account that we use to create the Google Merchant Center accounts. Now that that's all connected, what we want to do is choose our Merchant Center ID. Now this should be the same number that we see over in the Google Merchant Center. So I'll just get you to double check, pop back there and just see that this number up the top is the same as the one that we see in Simprosys. And it is, great. All right, so we click confirm your account. Now what we need to do is we need to enable certain programs within our Google Merchant Center. If we don't have these enabled, then we're not going to be able to use Google Merchant Center properly. So let's pop back to Merchant Center. And then over on the right-hand side, we're going to click Performance. Okay, so now that you're here, I'm just going to get you to click Yes, I've enabled programs. If you've got Merchant Center already set up, you may need to go in and enable the programs. But as we're starting at a new account, we can just click Yes because we're going to go back and configure these later. So let's click Yes, I've enabled programs. And now it's going to go through, check your Google Merchant Center, make sure that all the setup we did at the start is now done, and it's going to hopefully give us lots of little green ticks. Great, we've got a green tick. That is exactly what we wanted. If you don't get a green tick, you're going to need to go back into Merchant Center and just make sure you fill out all those business details that we talked about before. So now what we want to do is we're going to now set up our Google Ads and we're going to connect Merchant Center and our Google Ads account. So once we're there, we're going to do the same thing and we're going to do start now. We're going to log in with the exact same Google account. Once you've created your account, it's going to ask you to create your first campaign. What I want you to do here is click skip campaign creation because we're going to create this campaign after we've connected all our products. Now let's go through and fill out these details. We'll just click no and no. We click submit and we click continue. And this is going to bring us to an empty Google Ads account. So let's now go to Google Merchant Center and connect the two. Click Google Merchant Center, and then we're going to click here, link to Google Ads. Let's click link. And if you're logged in with the same Google account, this should link perfectly. We'll just double check the numbers. That's the number here. And we'll pop over here and we can see that's the number here. So both these accounts are the ones we want to link. Link account. Awesome. So that is all good to go. Now, obviously we're going to need to add some billing details in here so that we can bill our account when we start our ads. So go through and add those in there now by clicking add. So now that that's all linked and set up, in the background, what's happening is SimProcess is syncing your products through to the Google Merchant Center. This can take 10 minutes, it can take hours, so we just gotta be a little bit patient. So while we're waiting for that to happen, we're gonna go back into SimProcess and we're gonna set up tracking tags. Now, tracking tags are super important and we really need to make sure that we get them set up right. So we use SimProcess to set it up for us because they set it up correctly and everything links together. Now, what a tracking tag is it's a tag that goes on your website so that when someone buys something from your store, we send a signal back to Google Ads to let them know that someone has purchased something and the value that they've purchased it. This helps us determine our return on ad spend. So if we're spending $100 and someone's bought something for $1,000, that's going to get sent through to Google Ads and it's going to know exactly the amount that someone spent so it knows how much to continue to bid for those products. So head back to SimProcess, we're going to click tracking tags and we're going to click Google Dynamic Remarketing and Conversion Tracking. We're going to sign in again with the same account. And we're going to make sure the number's the same and we're going to link the account. Now I want you to make sure everything here is ticked. And click continue. And then here I want you to click create new conversion. Now what that has done is placed these tracking tags in your Google Ads account. So if we pop over to our Google Ads account, we'll see those in there. So we click over here, we click tools and settings, and if we click conversions, we can see that these two are linked. So these are the same ones that SimProcess has added in for us. So it's now going to know exactly when a purchase has been made, when someone's clicked add to cart or when they've started checkout. So when you're on this conversions page, we're just going to go across the left and go to settings. And we're going to see here enhanced conversions. So let's click that and then we're going to click turn on enhanced conversions. We'll agree to that. And we will just choose Google Ads API and click save. Awesome. So now we can go back to SimProcess and we're going to click enable tracking and then we're going to click save. Perfect. So now we've got lots of green ticks and I love a green tick. So we got active on all the tags and we've got active on Google enhanced conversions. So let's now go back to Google Merchant Center and see whether or not our products have come across. Back here, let's go to products and we can see them in here now. So what we can see though is they're under review. It can take up to 24, even 48 hours for Google to review these products, especially if it's a brand new account. So we're gonna have to wait for those to be reviewed until we can set the ad account live. That doesn't mean we can't create the ad account in the meantime. So let's now jump into Google Ads and we're gonna set up a performance max campaign for your Shopify store. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna click new campaign. We're gonna choose sales. Now we're going to choose purchases. Now you're going to see this little error here. It just means that there has been no conversion actions yet. And what that means is no one's made a sale on your store, so it can't track it. So that's okay. We're going to click continue. And what we're going to do is we're going to choose a performance max campaign. Let's click that. Now it's going to be linked already to everything. Now it's not seeing any products yet. They are still going to come through, but we can still get started here. So let's call this PMAX all products. Continue. In terms of bidding, this is where we want to set up the way we want Google to pay for our ads or how we want to pay for our ads. So we want to make as much money as possible. So we're going to do conversion value. So we're just going to keep these settings pretty much the same. We're going to call it conversion value. We're not going to set a target return on ad spend just yet. And we can choose an optimized campaign for acquiring new customers. Now, the reason we want to do that is we don't want these ads to be shown to existing customers who are going to buy from us anyway. We want to try and find brand new customers. Okay, let's click next. Now, depending on where you're located, you can choose the countries that you want to advertise to. I'm just going to choose Australia for this. and we want to keep the ads running all day, every day. We don't want start and end date. We just want Google to learn exactly where our customers are and what they're buying. Click next. So this is the important bit here. This is where we're actually setting up the ad that we're going to show to people across Google. Now, the cool thing about Performance Max is we're just going to give it all this information and it's going to design the ad the way it thinks is going to perform best. And it's going to put it on every channel across Google. And these channels are YouTube, it's going to be in Gmail ads, it's going to be in search ads, it's going to be in display ads, and it's also going to be in articles and everywhere. So basically, we're going to give it the info and it's going to do all the work for us. The key here though is giving it the right information so that it attracts people when they see the ads and they're going to click through. So I'll give you an example of what I would do on my store, and what I want you to do is do the same for yours. Now, these are broken up into things called asset groups. Now, asset groups are a way for you to collate all the information about certain products in one way. So we sell natural bath products on this demo store. We sell things like natural soap, bamboo toothbrushes, and natural shaving cream. And if we think about it, they're 3 separate categories that might have different images. So what we would do is we would create 3 different asset groups for those. We'd create one for natural soap, we'd create one for bamboo toothbrushes, and we'd create one for natural shaving cream. And then in each of those, we'd add all the assets. So let's create one now for natural soap, and we'll go through how that would set up. And then what I want you to do is do the same on your store for your category. What I would do after this is then I'd set one up for each of the other categories. Okay, so I'm gonna call this one natural soap. And we're gonna go through here and we're gonna basically add all images that are related to natural soap. So we'd click images here, and then we'd start uploading everything that we've got. Now, luckily, I've already uploaded some images. So I'm gonna choose the ones that I wanna use, and these are all beautiful pictures of natural soap. And we're gonna go through here. Now, if the image sizes of yours are a little bit out of whack, what we can do is we can actually click into them and move these around to make them look really good. So this 1:1 might be a little bit out of whack. We move it to the side here. This one here goes here. If it doesn't look very good, you can actually just untick it and Google won't use it. So we can click select 2 ratios. So I need to go through and just make sure that each of these images looks right. Now, once you've got your images loaded, we need to go through and add a logo. My brand doesn't actually have a logo because it's a demo store, but I think you get the point. Now, in terms of videos are really powerful, especially if you want to get more ads on YouTube. So Google Performance Max will create these crazy videos for you by using your images and your text. But if you've got your own videos, please upload them here. The way we upload them is we'll upload them to a YouTube channel and then link it through into Google Ads here. Now, the headlines are super important. This is where we need to write text that is going to attract people. This example, I want to write text that's about natural soap, and we want to have it the keyword that people would be likely to search for. So if someone's searching for natural soap, what are they going to type in the search engines? Natural soap, organic soap, sustainable soap. So they're the words that we want to use here for the headlines. So I've just quickly filled those out here, and you can see what I mean. We've got natural soap in Australia, the best soap alternative, buy organic natural soap. These are all things that people are likely to search for. Now, it's important that you have at least 5 in here. The more you have, the better. So now what we want to do is use these exact same headlines, but we're going to extend them out into these long headlines. And once you've got all those filled out, we're going to go through and fill out our descriptions. Now, if we think about the headlines as being the keywords that people search for, the descriptions are going to be the reasons that people buy. So this is areas where we might do free shipping, Australian only, made in Australia, fast returns, so reasons for people to buy directly from you. So go through and fill those reasons out now. Great, so I've magically filled those ones out now. Now we continue to go down. We've got your business name, is obviously the name of your business, and then site links. Now site links are really important. So I'm gonna click site links. And what we want to do here is add links to other categories in our business. So if I think about, I sell natural soap, but I also sell bamboo toothbrushes, and I also sell natural shaving cream. Now, the reason we want to add these links here is most likely if people are buying natural soap, they probably have an interest in the other things. So when people see these ads, they're going to see the other categories and know that you just don't sell the one thing. So go through and fill these out now for your categories. And when you do, it's going to look something like this. We then click save. And we now have this site link. And you can see here, this is how it's going to look on the ad. Let's click apply. Great, so now that that's all set up, we're gonna do the last thing, which is called creating an audience signal. So let's click create audience signal. And this is where we're going to tell Google the types of people that we want to target. So I want to target people that are into natural soap. So we're gonna type in here, which is called natural soap interest, and I'll spell natural correctly. So what we're going to do is go through and add everything in here. So we're going to click a new segment, and we're going to call this searched for natural soap. So here what we're going to be doing is we're going to say to Google, we want you to show this ad to people who have searched for the term related to natural soap. So here we see people who've searched for any of these terms in Google. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in a whole heap of terms that are around natural soap. We can see that these are some search term ideas that Google's given us. So organic natural body wash, organic natural soap, handmade soap, all natural soap. So what we're doing here is Google knows the people that search for these terms, and it's going to go and show the ads to these people. Now, we don't necessarily need to stock these things. We just need to know that people are interested in this type of category. So add as many that you can in here. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to choose people who browse these types of websites. Now, this is a really powerful thing that not many people are doing. This is where we can actually put our competitors' websites in here. So if I click that one here, what we can do here is add our competitors' URLs in here. So I want you to go through, choose your top 3 to 5 competitors and add them directly in here. Once you've added in all your competitors, I want you to click save. So that's now told Google the types of people that you want that show search intent. So that's really what we want to do to get the audience signal set up. So here we're just going to click save. And now this asset group is entirely set up. So we've got the assets, we've written all the headlines, we've written the descriptions, we are good to go. We've got site links, awesome. So let's click next. And now we're going to need to set a budget. I recommend starting at least $30 a day. And the reason I say $30 is we need to give Google enough money so that it can actually go out and learn the types of people that buy our products. If we give it too little, it's going to take too long. And if we give it too much, it's going to spend too much. So I find $30 to $50 is a really good starting point. And it means that we're going to learn really quickly and we're going to get sales a lot quicker. But it also means that we can optimize our listings because we learn what's working and what isn't working. So set it to about $30 to $50 a day. Okay, it's come back with a couple of errors here. So if this is you, let's explore what these are. So it says one logo is required. Now we know I don't have a logo, so I can't fix that. But interestingly, we want to improve this part here. So it says to use the new customer acquisition option, additional value for new customers. So let's go through and click that. What Google's actually asking us here is they're saying, if we give you a new customer, is that going to be worth more than an existing customer? And if it is, we need to provide a value to Google on what it needs to add on to the conversion value. So the way to calculate this is if just say someone spends $50 on your store, what will happen is we'll tell Google that someone has spent $50. If they're a new customer, what we're going to say to Google, actually, because they're a new customer, we know over time they're probably going to spend with us again. So that customer to us is actually worth more than $50. They're actually going to be worth $75 because they might buy again this year, okay? So what we want to do here is we want to add on an additional value if we think that customer over the next 12 months is going to be worth more than $50. Now, I think we only need to put a really small number in here so that we can really optimize this campaign perfectly. So I'll just put something in like $5. All right, we click apply, and that is all good. Now, the next thing they're asking us is to define a customer acquisition list. Now, this is when we have Google Analytics connected into our Google Ads account, and it's going to know who our existing customers are. If you go through and connect Google Analytics as well, it's going to make this error message disappear. So go through and connect up Google Analytics and this one will go away. Now, if you don't want to worry about all this splitting on paying more for new and different for old, we can just untick optimize your campaign for acquiring customers. We click next and we just finish off this campaign. And it will take us back to here. Okay, so it looks like it's not gonna let me get past unless I upload a logo. So I should do what Google wants me to do. So let's click fix it and let's upload a logo here. And we click save. Okay, you happy, Google? All right, let's go to the end. Next, we'll finish this off. Now, I won't be publishing the campaign because this is a demo store. Now, I don't want you to publish it yet either because your products haven't synced across. So let's now go back to Shopify and we're going to now optimize these product listings before we set this campaign live. So in Shopify, we're going to go back to SimProcess and we're going to click Manage Products. Now it's really important when you're running Google Ads that all of your products are categorized correctly, because if they're not categorized correctly, they're just not going to perform as well. So the great thing about SimProcess is it makes it super easy to categorize these products. So I'm going to take you through how to optimize a product right now. So let's go into the one we were talking about, which was the avocado soap. If we click the product, it's going to bring this up here. Now, I want you to go down to where it says Google product category. Every one of your products in your SimProcess feed needs to have a Google product category. So if we click here, now I'm going to type in the word soap and see what comes up. And we can see these are all the categories that Google gives us. Now, not all of these will align perfectly to your products. Just choose one that is as close as possible. So I'm going to choose bar soap. That's fantastic. Now, the other thing I want you to do is I want you to have a look at the title of your product. Now, right now, my product is called the Absolute Avocado Natural Soap. Now, if I think about what we talked about earlier in regards to what people are searching for, it's probably unlikely someone searching for Absolute Avocado Natural Soap. So what we can actually do here is we can change the title here so it only updates it in Google and not on your Shopify store. So I'm going to rename this to something that's a little bit more search engine friendly. So to do that, we're just going to click this little pencil here and then we can go in and edit it. So I've put in here natural organic handmade soap. It's a keyword that people will search for when they're looking for this type of product. And now I've called it avocado scented. So I'll click is the tick box to confirm. Now this won't update the Shopify store, it'll only update the Google shopping feed. This is a hack that all the big stores are doing so that they get found when people search for those keywords. Because if you call your product something obscure, people are never going to find it and Google isn't going to know what it's about. So we want to make sure that we put as many keywords in here as possible that are going to help your product get found. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of other options within SimProcess here. Now, the more options that we can fill out here, the better, because the more information we give to Google, the more likely your product's going to be found. So I need to go through here and see whether or not you can fill this out with as much information as possible. Don't worry, if you don't have size or pattern, you don't need to fill it out. Just fill out the things that you do have the answers to. And once you've filled it all out, I just want you to go through and click Update Product. That's now going to save it and it's going to send through all these new details into Google Merchant Center. So that is pretty much it. We've set up Google Merchant Center, we've set up Google Ads, we've connected it to Shopify, we've now got the feed going back and forth and we've optimized it. Your ads are set up, you've got your asset group set up. I want you to make sure you set up an asset group for each category of your products and then publish those campaigns. And it's as simple as that. So that's how you set up Google Ads for Shopify the right way, and it's the way that's going to get you more sales.